Feminism, the good and the bad. Feminism is the one word that has been echoing from all corners of the social media world over the past 2 years. The alarming rise in the number of cases of violence against women has brought out the long-hidden feelings of resentment and suffering in women, and social media has given them a platform to express their views and share their conscience and experiences, thereby forcing a majority, if not all, people to think on the lines of female empowerment. With all the talk about women empowerment, the word feminism has taken a front seat where it can be used and be seen quite liberally by the masses. But how many of those that use the word know and understand the true meaning of it? The dictionary defines feminism as belief in and advocacy of the political, economic, and social equality of the sexes, expressed especially through organized activity on behalf of the women's right and interest. Although it is quite clear that the word suggests equality of the sexes, it is misinterpreted by most as supremacy of women over men, which invariably defeats the whole purpose of the word and its significance. As with every other movement and revolution in history, the current cry of feminism has brought about its own share of negative as well as positive outcomes. While there are women who have been oppressed and violated in the past that are one step closer to getting justice today, there are also women who take the ongoing campaign to falsely accuse innocent men to their own cause. This situation has given rise to questions on the authenticity of every story of every woman who has the courage to come up and fight for justice. What needs to be understood is that being a quiet bystander to any form of unfair or troublesome behavior is no better than the one doing the deed. Misogyny has also been practiced for centuries, which has paved way for today's society thought process that places blame on the victim and encourages her to keep quiet for fear of bringing disrespect to the family. However, it is inevitable truth that changes is slowly happening, and it is for the good. The awareness spreading in social media has helped a lot of people to reflect on their own behavior and assess the extent of damage the male-dominated society has caused on women. As humans, it is our responsibility to make each other feel safe around fellow humans. Feminism means equality, not dominance of women. This is something a lot of people still need to educate themselves on. The path through this is changing the very foundation on which the society stands. Instead of teaching the upcoming generations the limitation of each gender, it would make the world a better place. Welcome back. Still family and values here. Like you heard, feminism is the word. So I will just ask, we have, before we ask, definitely, I'm already like in the mood to start asking questions. So let me introduce my guest. My guest is Joy Abo. She's a presenter, she's a public speaker, and she's a life coach. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It's good to have you.
Yeah, same here.
You know, this is after a long while we're sitting down together in another program.
Another platform.
It's a good one. So yes, we're talking about feminism, and I know when I said we are talking about feminism, you were so excited. You're like, oh yes, finally.
Yeah.
I've always been meaning to talk about this. So yes, we're here to talk about that. Okay. So what do you know about the history of feminism first? Let's get it down from the history.
Okay, from research, I discovered that feminism came to play when the women folk felt the supremacy around them. They felt like the men folk had dominated them for a very long time, and so they needed to break out of that barrier. So that was where the fight and struggle for feminism started. And so when I hear people say, first of all, feminism is not how do I call it? Feminism is not supremacy over the man. Feminism is not supremacy over the man. Feminism is just women trying to be women, women trying to have a voice in the society. So that supremacy the men had over the years that brought the feminism agenda and the fight for survival. Like, you know what, we want our voices to be heard, we want to be known, we want to be seen. Let's not just be at the back. So that was where the history and struggle for feminism actually started. Yeah. Okay, so do you think feminism has an unfair image right now? Based on the history, we know what people are talking about feminism is that feminism is you know, having to have a say, you know, be the head of the house too. They should also, you know, have that respect. You know, a lot of people have put feminism in another light. Yes. So do you think they have an unfair image now, or it is the image a whole lot of people have, you know, misconstrued feminism to be? The truth is there've been misconception when you talk about feminism. Most people believe when we talk about feminism, we are talking about supremacy, which is far from it. It has nothing, 0% supremacy over any man. We are not trying to be the front row. We are not trying to be the head. We are just asking for a voice. We just want to be we would just want to be heard. So it's when you look at the society at large, anytime you're in a place and you talk about feminism, they feel like, oh yeah, you're talking about women, gender, you're talking about equality. No, it's way far from it. And so there's that misconception in the society that we really need to clear and make people understand that this is what we are actually talking about.
But you know, we have a lot of ladies that believe feminism is about equality. Whatever you do, in fact, they'll say what a man can do, a woman can do better. We understand where that is coming from. But right now, they've turned it to something else, that feminism is we can actually do much more than men. Then when it now gets to when it gets to the billing aspect, you will see some of them will withdraw, like, no, I'm a female, you know, the lady comes first, you know, they will expect to be treated as a female. But you know, when it comes to I want to talk, I want to be in charge, I want to take over, you see them coming out. Now, is that what true feminism is all about, or they are getting it the wrong way?
The truth is, even the ladies that actually are supposed to champion this cause of feminism, most of them are getting it very wrong. Now, what's the essence of feminism? From history, it had to do with, there were times where certain jobs were not meant for women. It was regulated only to the men. And that was where women were like, no, we can actually do these jobs and we can do it better. So it had nothing to do with the family being the head or being superior to the man. So there were those jobs that were restricted to men, and women were like, no, we have the same capacity, the same ability to fit into these jobs, and we can even do it better. Coming from the fact that women are more emotional, they put in emotions and everything and sensitivity. So that's why you see that even fellow women themselves have this misconception about feminism. They just feel it has to do with, oh no, I need to be equal rights with the man, we need to rub shoulders. You know, it's way far from it. So that's why when you see that once they bring up that attitude and it comes to billing, they are withdrawn, they are taking steps backward. They now feel like, oh, I'm the lady, I shouldn't be the one to pay the bills. But then at the overall view of it, it has to do with the fact that we are now trying to make them understand that it's far from it. It's far from you rubbing shoulders with your fellow man. It's far from you being the man. You can't be the man. You're only asking for what is yours as a lady.
Right. Okay, that's very true. Now, I was about to say, are you a feminist? Because when they ask people, are you a feminist? They'll be, yeah, they are feminists, but they get the right idea of being a feminist. But because, when you say you are a feminist, a whole lot of people will just look at you and like, now them. You understand? Because of the bad image or fair image they're giving to feminism. Now, I want to ask a question. Based on the story. Now, there are a group of women, you know, that she's always at the forefront, like feminism. Your man should not talk you down, your husband should not send you around the house. You know, they are in a gathering. It's not when you're with your girls, they will tell you, no, you can't be with your girls, come home and cook. And she got a call. Now, the call is from her husband, and she stepped aside and she picked the call, and the next day she was like, honey, how are you? He said, where are you? Say, I'm with the ladies. You're with it. Will you come home now and come and cook for me? Do you know what the time is? I'm supposed to eat dinner, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, okay, I'm coming. Just give me some minutes. I'll be right back. Now, she's respecting her husband and knowing that, okay, at that point, what she did was not the right thing. Now, she going back to her circle, she was like, oh, that was my husband that called. I told him off. I told him this. He can't tell me nothing. Now, that is a person particularly bringing a wrong image to feminism and leading a lot of women astray. And also bringing on that scenario, you're going to talk about the two. Now, the other part is a lady that she has always been strong on feminism. I'm a feminist. I'm a this. You can't do that. They are taking placards and going outside. And later on, she comes out and started crying. That she's so sorry she doesn't get this thing of feminism, that she needs a man to love her, she needs somebody to be with her, what is going on, that she wants to get married, she wants to love, she wants to have children, and she wants to stop being a feminist. And a lot of comments were coming like, you are not a feminist. If you're a feminist, the right feminist, you will be married and you'll be having a happy home.
Exactly.
So now, these two stories, I want you to just talk about it, tell us the flaws, and of course the best way one could actually go about such when it comes to the gathering of women, or such gatherings of women, or when it comes to you being an extreme when it comes to feminism?
Okay, let's start with the first scenario you mentioned. Now, this is somebody who is literally deceiving other fellow women. Now, you come out to tell them, I would always say I'm a feminist because I understand the true definition of feminism and what we stand for. Now, there is difference between the place of respect and there's a place of fighting for something that's a cause that you believe in.
Yeah.
What's the essence of you gathering women and telling them that, okay, stand up for yourself? You're gathering women who are demoralized, who are depressed, who have been in oppression of marriage. So you're there to give them that support.
Yes.
You're not telling them not to respect. You're not telling them not to be wives. Now that's the difference. When you're a feminist, it doesn't stop you from being acting the place of a wife or a mother. And when you're in the society, portray the good image of that mother and wife that you've been. Now this, look at the woman now out here. She's trying to be, and the other women who don't understand will take that attitude home and have serious issues in their home that might cause to break up and divorce, and she is still acting the homely, the wifey and everything. And then when you take that, number one is she has the whole deceitful attitude of feminism. That's selfishness as far as I'm concerned. And then when you go to the second scenario you place, that this is someone who is going to the extreme of it. Now you've done it to the point that you've forgotten that there is supposed to be a male folk around you. As long as you're a feminist, you should have somebody that guides you. You should have somebody that will talk to you and you will listen. So when you claim to be a feminist and you're in the forefront, and then you have zero respect for any man because you feel you're tough, you feel you're iron lady and all, definitely you will not have any man to be with, because no man wants a woman who is not submissive.
Yes,
no matter how high and mighty you are in the society, there should be someone you're answerable to. And that's why people will question you. If you're this feminist, then you should have a home, you should have children, you should start from there. Your feminism should start from your home.
But do you think there's any, like you said, there's no man that doesn't have ego, you know, would want respect, but do you think there's any home or any relationship whereby we have a feminist, a core feminist? That is the wrong image of feminism that we have right now. And you see a man that actually stays long with such women. They have the respect, they feel they deserve respect, or their ego should be graced or whatever, but yet the woman still tries to be lord over, you know, the home and all of that. Do you think there are such marriages like that or relationships like that?
No. There is no extreme feminism that would have a long-lasting relationship or marriage, because there will always be clashes in the marriage. You would always want to overstep your boundaries. You would always want to act as the man. You want the man to be answerable to you in the name of, I'm a feminist, I should be the one. So that marriage, that relationship will not go far. There is no man that, even you as a lady, why are you fighting for the cause of feminism? You're avoiding supremacy. You're avoiding dictatorship, and here you are acting the same thing. So why? It will not work.
I like that. Imagine you fighting for dictatorship, men not always telling you everything,
pushing you around,
and now you now
find yourself in that situation.
You now want to be a dictator. Now that's not fair. Okay, now do you think the country and the society at large is being fair to both men and women when it comes to being equal? Now, why I'm saying this is because, okay, there's something that's trending online whereby we have Davido, we have comedian Brain Jotter, about this hawker, street hawker selling pure water, and she disguised. I'm already using a she. He disguised as a lady so that he could, you know, mercy could be shown to him. It could, you know, receive help from people. Unfortunately, it has been working for him. And Brain Jotter, according to him, said somebody gave the young boy 600,000, and he also transferred some money to him. And Davido, with his uncle, Governor Adeleke, also wanted to try and do something until they found that, oh, this girl is a guy. Now, a lot of people came strong at Davido and the family, and were like, why would you withdraw the help? Because you find out now that he's a boy. So it's a problem now. Yes, fine, true. Why are you now showing favorism to the ladies and not to the men? That is one angle. But at the same time, some people are feeling like he still needs help. But some people are like, okay, he needs help, but he's scamming people, which will draw a lot of people away from him and not to help him. Now, the point is, do you actually think that the society, Nigeria, our country, is being fair to men and women when I mean being equal? Both the law and everything that it stands for?
Okay, to be honest and sincere, there is nothing like equality. There's the country is not being fair to both the men and the women folk. There's nothing like equality there. Now, let's take this instance you've just mentioned. Assuming the young man came out as being a man, although he has his handicap, the nature of help would have gotten won't be this much. For the fact that he was even hugging is enough for anybody to assist him. Anybody to look at, okay, he's handicapped and he's not lazy, he's doing something, he's not begging. You know, that's enough sympathy drawn to himself. But he took it a step further and deceiving the entire society, making people believe he was a lady. And the reason why he did that is because we have so many men who are going into cross-gender thinking that when I become a lady, I'm going to be more favored. And when you're talking about favorism when it comes to women, you're talking about men's gesture towards women. It has nothing to do with workforce. Because if you come to the workforce, women will show themselves that they work, that they are women. So on that aspect, the society is not being fair. If you go to a place, of course, that's why you hear some guys will tell you that when we go hang out, we pay our bills. But when a lady goes on a sit-out, somebody is there to pay for them. That's because naturally we were fine-tuned in that direction. Let's not take that aspect away. We were not fine-tuned to pay bills. We were created, we were helpmates from the onset. So that thing is still working for us. Now, on the men folk, they have also had their own share of laws that have overruled women. There are some things they do that they go away with it.
Right.
There are some things they do to the women folks that the women can't fight. Now, this manly ego and everything, that's why it's of recent we started talking about domestic violence, we started talking about it because of all those things. The times of supremacy, when the men were in control, you can't talk.
You can't talk. You dare not talk.
You dare not talk. So, but now because we've realized that, no, there has to be this equality, in as much as we are still not there, we are still trying to. So there's definitely that favorism will always come in. And when you see that, that's why you see two people will be standing on the road. A man would rather prefer to give a lady, because the man feels like the lady shouldn't suffer. You're not made to suffer.
So
you're
men
meant to be pampered.
Men, are you listening? They said you are made to be. Okay, I'm not saying she said, but somebody said you're made to suffer. The ladies are not meant to suffer. I actually like the angle you're coming from. Now, there's also a trending video we have online where a woman, actually a grown-up woman, was being beaten by her husband. The video is very funny. I don't know if you've seen that video.
And the man went back to bed.
Yeah, before even going back to bed, the hilarious part of it is after beating the woman crying was now mimicking the woman, like
in front of
the daughter and in front of the wife, you understand? And he knows the woman is with a phone. That's the part whereby, you know, he does not care. So at the end of the day, we saw another video again where he was begging and the woman was crying. In my mind, I'm like, sometimes it's good when we take our phones up and do the right thing, you understand, make our voice heard. You know, it could be in a dire situation and you actually need the people to come to your rescue. Very true. But the thing is, you think that we females, we are now taking this attention, this feminism, this favorism, this we are not meant to suffer. Do you think we're taking it for granted a whole lot?
Yes, we are. Like when I saw that video, I felt like if I were to be a woman that decides to fight for that woman, and then I now see the man begging, I'll withdraw whatever support I wanted to give her, because I just feel like you're not ready to break out. You're not ready to be you. You're not ready to come out of it. There are some people that actually enjoy domestic violence. They actually love it. They've gotten used to that point that no matter the amount of help you want to give them, no. So we women, naturally, we are used to attention. We are attention seekers. Every little thing, we want to drag that attention to ourselves. Now, you came out, you were crying, you were battered, you were beaten, and people are ready to fight for you. And then they now see a video of the same man begging you and crying, and you're there. You're not fighting for yourself. You're not saying, no, this has to stop. What's the truth? That the truth is, after that, there's going to be another issue again. You know, then before now, I think a few weeks back, we had a video of a woman who died out of domestic violence, leaving 4 kids. And when I followed that story, it was said that they've always
Yes.
wanted to help. So you see, sometimes we take it too for granted. And then at times I feel like we women, we do something and we believe that, oh yeah, we are women, we'll go scot-free. People are there to back us and give us a voice, you know. So we are also taking all these things for granted. Yes, we
I like
are.
that part, because if you look at it this way, when they are trying to help you and because they're trying to protect your home, which if you notice, that woman, she's not even a Gen Z, probably earlier than the millennial or something. So I think she did that to call attention to people, so the husband will actually stop, or if he continues, you know, she'll get help from people. But now I'm looking at it from another angle, like you said. How about if she forgives him, and yes, he's forgiven, he withdraws for like a week or 2 or a month and goes back,
and
but this time around, when he resumes,
you know, she won't be able to pick up her phone and
yes,
do
because
anything.
now the guy already knows, the man already knows that she's going to pick up her phone, she's going to draw attention.
So he will go
he could even
by seizing it.
he could seize her phone, restrict her, which will cause a whole lot of harm.
So
I think it's a lot of it's something that we really need to take into consideration. We women, we don't have to take it for granted, because I know one thing is, when a man cries for help, to be honest, sometimes most of us don't even
we don't pay attention.
We don't pay attention. But you see, when a woman cries for help, even if she's forming years, the whole world will stand up. Yeah, exactly. So we women, we need to be very careful about what we do. Very soon we'll be going on break for our Zoom guests. But I have another question. Do you believe that feminism carries too much baggage for usage today? There's too much baggage in that word feminism.
Trust me, it does.
Please, can you mention some of the baggages that feminism carries?
Now, the thing is, let me start by saying, once you come out to define yourself as a feminist, you're restricted. The male folks around you tend to see you like, oh, this one is actually fighting for the women alone. They don't want to share that space with you. They believe whatever they say, you will counter it and stand for the female folks. So it comes with a whole lot of baggage. It comes with a whole lot of, see, the truth is, when you're a true feminist and you're standing on the positive aspects of it, you have a whole lot to do. You have a whole lot of people out there to liberate. You have a whole lot of people to make them understand the cause, the initial cause. This is the reason why we are fighting for this. You know, so changing that negative narrative and making people believe and understanding the positive one is enough baggage alone for you to carry. Then you now start talking about the true essence, where to channel your cause. So trust me, it has a lot of baggage. It has a whole lot of baggage.
Now, I want people to understand, so that we can be very clear on the word feminism, because I actually want to take time for that.
Okay.
Now, can you explain to us what true feminism is, so that those who have gotten the wrong idea and they are always women supporting women, yes, it's a good thing, but do
women really support women?
which is a very true thing, because if you look at it,
do women really support women?
I think from the angle of cheating, you know the man has a wife, but yet you be like, you're sleeping with him and you still want to go ahead with him. So yes, I think it's hard to actually believe that word of women actually supporting women. But what is the true meaning? What are the values, the core values of being a feminist, away from what, you know, the usage is of today?
Now, when we started, I started by saying feminism is not supremacy. Feminism is not fighting for equal rights with the men. We are only asking for what is ours. We are asking for a fair society. We are asking that our voices should be heard. We are also asking that what is good for the man is also good for the lady, as long as you're qualified. Like in the work funds, if you feel like I'm qualified for this job, don't look at me as a woman, look at me like I'm good for this job. So that's where the essence, if you feel a man is good for a president, I could also be in that space and do it. Like, we are asking for fair attention. Give us a fair play. That is what feminism is all about. It has nothing to do with supremacy. It has nothing to do with controlling your husband, controlling your spouse, controlling your home. No, we are talking about society. Give us that voice. if you feel I can take up the role as a pilot, allow me
to take
up that role. Don't look at me like, oh, she's a weaker vessel. It also,
or maybe you have to get into her pants.
to get into her pants. You get. So this whole feminism fight started when we felt like men were taking advantage over the ladies. You know you're qualified for this job, but then you're giving me conditions. You must sleep with me, you must do this, and those conditions are not given to the men. And then we just started saying, no, this is not it. Some of us are highly intelligent.
Yeah.
We can fit in better. That's where the fight stands, and that's what true feminism stands for. It has nothing to do with supremacy. It has nothing to do with authority. We give you your space as a man. We know where you belong. We know you're the head.
Yeah.
We are helpmates, but we are also asking that as helpmates, if you're not there, I can,
you know,
standing for you. That is what we are. Now, that's why you have the president and the vice. That's just what it is. If, when the president is on leave, the vice president acts as the president. So that's what we are asking for. And when you look at it, since the fight for feminism started, you've seen that women have proven themselves beyond that. Yes, this is what we are actually championing and fighting. So it has nothing to do with supremacy.
Supremacy at all.
At all. It has nothing to do with supremacy.
That is a very good one. I hope we're all learning that feminism. So right now, well, it's safe to say I'm a feminist, right?
Of course I am. I would say so.
You know, I'm still a bit very careful.
I would say so because I understand the true definition and the cause I'm fighting for.
But the truth is, when you go outside, be careful the way you say I'm a feminist, because a lot of people still have the very wrong
idea.
They have a very negative idea of the word feminism. She had a man that could actually just join right now. I wanted to just ask him one question that came to my mind, and let me just throw that at you. Are feminists anti-male? I wanted to just ask him that straight. Like, Lawrence, we're so sorry. Your network is messing everything up for us here. Okay. Are feminists anti-male?
I think the extreme ones, the ones that don't truly understand
what feminism are
anti-males.
Wow.
Yes,
is there anything like even anti-male? Is it even possible for female to actually live without the male gender?
The truth is, there are some women that have fought personal battles and come to that realization of, I don't need a man. And that is why when you meet such women, they become too harsh. They become too extreme in decision making. They are not considerate, because they've fought personal battles, they've come out of it, and then and sometimes sadly, most of those battles they fought as a result of bad relationships they've been with men, bad experience. So once they fight and come out of it, they believe like, no, we are not doing again. And then that side of them, because they've not forgiven the past, they bring it into it and then summarize it with feminism and stand on that word like, no, here we stand and this is where we are. Yes.
Okay, now let's take it back. Let's take it to the religious group. Do you think when we find ourselves in some certain religious group or group of people, do you think feminism is like a threat to their family or to the family? Like, if you are being introduced to a family, but maybe a religious family, or just a family maybe in church, outside of church, but they call themselves a family or a certain group of people that sit down. Do you think when you come out to them and tell them, you introduce yourself and say, okay, my name is so-so and I'm a feminist, do you think it's a threat to them?
It's a threat.
Why is that?
Even to a layman on the streets. You see, the truth is because there's been this negativity around feminism.
Even the religious group.
Even the religious group. Yeah. That is why even in that religious group, women are still struggling. Even in that's why when you listen to most of these female ministers, they are always mounting on it. They are always making women realize that don't take the back seat. Come out, be you. They are championing the cause of feminism in the religious aspects, because once you come out, once you declare yourself, you're a threat. Anywhere you enter, everybody becomes conscious of you. So even in the religious circle, the male folks that you cannot come out is a threat to them. It's a threat. Even in the religious sector, when you look around the religious sector, let's be sincere. How many of the big ministers can you compare it to the ratio of women we have?
Oh, okay.
So it's actually a big threat.
Okay, all right. Since it's a big threat, what advice will you actually give to religious group at this point, and of course any group of people or even persons individually? What advice will you give to them when it comes to feminism? Like when they hear somebody introduce themselves as a feminist, what advice will you give to them, and how do you think they should go about it when they meet probably the wrong representative of a true feminism?
Okay, firstly, I used to tell people, or sometimes when I'm in a garden and then we are talking and somebody asks me, are you a feminist? And I'll say yes. And then they'll be like, really? And I'll start defining that this is what I stand for. This is the reason why I'm championing this cause. Now, the truth is, when you meet a feminist who is on the negative aspect, the most important thing is try educating the person. Even you as a man, you can educate a feminist who is on the negative side and bring her to light. Like, this is the reason why your fellow women are fighting for this. It has nothing to do with supremacy. It has nothing to do with... The truth is, why the male folks are having this threat once you come out to be a feminist is because of the level of insecurity they have. They believe the power you're going to have as a woman is going to be more, and I wouldn't blame them, because we've had women that have been in society and misused their powers. So the fear of letting you out, the fear of letting you be you, is what is actually causing this major threat. So it's for you to understand and educate. Tell the person this is the true meaning. This is what feminism stands for. It has nothing to do with supremacy. It's just you being you. It's just me coming out now to be myself, to be what I want to be. It's for me to educate the younger generation that this fight for feminism, it has nothing to do with you overthrowing a man. Or it's just you being you. It's you sitting down and being yourself, being the fact that I'm proud to be a woman. I'm working in this place. I know my job. It's just that confidence that most women have misunderstood that is causing the men. And I used to tell people there is a thin line between confidence and pride. If you know this job and you're doing it, it's because you know it. You understand the ethics of the job and you're doing it. You're doing it perfectly. But when you bring in pride into it, and then that pride comes with dictatorship, it comes with you supremacy, that is where we have gotten this whole feminism thing wrong. So it starts with educating, just like we are educating them now and telling them that this is the right path. So even in the religious sector, this is what to tell them. Nobody is coming to mount your puppy to take over your church. And but what we are trying to say now, there is a very popular clergy lady now, after the loss of her husband, she's moving the church forward. And that is what you talk about, true definition of feminism. She has never talked down on any minister. She's championing the cause she was meant to be. So that is what we are now. Okay, look, assuming I told somebody something, I said, if the husband didn't pass away, we would not know her capability and her ability. But now she's here doing what she's truly called for. So that's what we are talking about. Educating them and making them understand
I've met a lot of men that are actually, they will tell you, I'm a feminist. You understand? We even have a lot of celebrities. Kunle Ojo said, I'm a feminist. In fact, that day, a lot of people wanted to, if it was possible, to bring him down. Like, guy, how can you say you are?
Because he understands the concept.
Exactly.
So he can give his wife and give the daughter opportunity to explore. Because he's not scared of one person is coming to take over his responsibility. You know?
So now, do you think male can actually be a true feminism? And if yes, how do you think the society is going to take them? You know, like I said, when I said Kunle Ojo before, Kunle Remi actually came out and said he's a feminist, a true feminist. So a lot of people were like, what? How can you say that? You're a man, you're supposed to be, you know. So how do you think a lot of people will take that? And how do you think people should see those men that call themselves a true feminist?
When a man calls himself a true feminist is because he has understood what that word feminism is and what it stands for. And then what he's doing is he's helping women to build their confidence. He's not on the case of, no, go and sit down, what can you offer? He's telling them that what you can offer, let's work, let's partnership. So men that come out to say, I'm a true feminist, is because they are ready to support women. And such men, if you come with them with projects as a woman, they champion it, they go ahead with it, they push you to your limit, they make you break barriers. Those are men that truly understand what feminism is all about. So, but the society, because of this wrong identity we've given to feminism, once you come out as a man, they feel like, oh, this one, oh, they've wrapped him, oh, he, no, you know. But now that's what we are begging the society, that if a man comes out and says, I'm a feminist, because he supports his wife, he supports his daughters, he gives them a fair play in the house. There is no, oh, you're the boy, you're the, no, there is that fair play for everybody. Bring up your skills.
Don't call him a woman.
You know, you get, that's what my dad did. My father never gave anybody privilege over the rest. If you know you're good at it, bring it to the table. Anybody that wins, you know. So
right. And a lot of people will say this, you know, yes, women supporting women, like you said, do women actually support women? Now the thing is, a lot of people will say, I'll prefer to work under a man, but their fear is before they get a job, the man will always ask to sleep with them. And they'll be like, I can easily handle him. I can just say no. I can find a way to say no, you know, politely, or still be stalling until he forgets about wanting to sleep with me. But some people like, I can never work under a woman, because they believe that once a woman gets to the level of even being a boss, they don't know how to control that power. They don't know how to control that pride. They don't know how to control that wealth. So it's so much on them that they find out that they are being, you know, they are not actually acting like a dictator. You understand? You must do this. If you don't do anything, they insult you, they fire you, they take you all around. Now, I will not say that woman is a feminist, obviously. But is there any way we can go about it, and how true is this? Now,
if you ask me, I'd rather work with a male boss. I've had experiences of female bosses, and it's not been palatable, because once they see that you're rising, hatred and jealousy plays in.
Wow.
Once they see that you're growing, the fear of you growing above them, they you know, we women, that's why I say, do women really support women? Both of us could be in the same field. We are working, and I'm putting in my efforts, and I'm doing my best, and then I'm being promoted, and then jealousy comes in. You're not coming to me to ask me, how are you doing it? Teach me. You know, that ego in a woman would not allow you come to your fellow man, and but men don't have that. They'll come, I don't know this thing, put me through. They'll celebrate you. But women is not like that. And so when they get to that peak of their career, it feels like, I have arrived. Oh yes, I did this by myself because I'm tough, because and then they take it like, if I can defeat all the men around me to get to this point, who are you, a fellow woman? They start talking down on you as a woman. But rather than building you up, so that, okay, you know what, let's support ourselves.
But don't you think that is now a problem? Why some women should not even be feminists? They should not even venture into that life. Because if you now say you're a feminist, you want women supporting women, I want my women to grow, and you see your fellow woman growing, and probably she's even getting higher than where you are, and the next thing you start being jealous.
That's why I started by saying that even as women, we need to start creating our mentality, channeling it back to the main cause of feminism. Because we've had, see, the truth is, when you talk about feminism, it's even the fellow women that have made the society look at feminism in a negative way. Because I started by saying that some of them have been put in society, in situations where the society looks at it and say, no, we don't want to even give these people a chance, because they'll mess it up. Now, you can imagine you've grown to that. You know, as a woman, what it took you. You had to stay up for family. You had to stay up for yourself. And then you get to that level. And then you see a fellow woman. It's for you to tell her, this is what I did. At this point, I will have these mistakes. At this point. But no, the moment you see that she's beginning to struggle on her own to get to that point, your own is no.
Sorry to interject. Let me bring back the cheating aspect now. You know, a lot of times when we have couples, you know, and the man is cheating, why? I don't know if this has any relationship with feminism, but why is it that most women, they always tend to go and fight the side chick or fight the second wife or whatever it is, not fighting the man. Like, why would you go and cheat? Why would you do that? You know, why would it be that they have to go and fight the woman? And also, why is it that women that also still call themselves feminists, the true feminists, will still go about dating a man that probably has a girlfriend or a fiance? Okay, let's leave girlfriend because, you know, there's no seriousness to that. They are still knowing each other. They are courting. They know they've gotten to this level of everybody in the family already knows. Yeah. And you go ahead, you date this person, and you do everything within your power to make sure that the person comes to you. Or when the person is even married, you'll be dating the man and say, Sheba, I'm not marrying him now. I'm just, you know, why is it like that? I don't know. What can you say? Because it's a bit confusing.
Let me start by telling you why women would rather go and fight the fellow women. It has to do with this jealousy I'm talking about. Okay. It has to do with insecurity. It has to do with beauty. It has to do with personal self-esteem. You feel like this lady is maybe above you, or she's more prettier than you, or she has the qualities you don't have. And rather than you sitting down to develop yourself, I had an incident. I told the lady, I said, if I were you, the energy I put into fighting or tracing this lady, I rather use it and ask myself questions. What am I not doing? Develop yourself, build yourself, career-wise, expose your knowledge. The moment you sit down, the man is seeing that, whoa, she's no longer he would start coming back. You don't even need to stress. You know, but when you start fighting the other woman, oh, leave my man, leave my husband, you're already showing yourself that you have issue with low self-esteem. And then when you talk about the ladies that go ahead to sleep, or the feminists, and I'm talking of people who understand the true meaning of feminism. Now, it's because for them, they believe that aspect has nothing to do with feminism.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's their belief. They just believe that, well, I'm not married and this person is coming to me and I'm receiving money. Now, unfortunately, see, such people are the ones that will still go out to the society and still say, oh no, be decent, but this, stay away from this. And that's why sometimes the people will call them and say, hey, hello, you know, you have something. But when you look at it generally, that's why I said, do women really support women? If you know that you're a true feminist, why go for another woman's husband? Why don't you sit the woman and say, this is the reason why this man is coming to me? Why don't you work it out? Why don't you do it this way?
Which woman, which girl now we call a man and start telling the man, see your husband is asking me out, so this is what you do.
Can the woman actually take it?
Can the woman take it too?
That is it. So you see,
at this point we just end the topic feminism. Be a true feminism. It's not about dictatorship. It's about letting your voice be heard.